So the man needs no introduction. Greg Phillinganes. Give him a big round of applause. We're going to talk a little bit about Greg's history with Korg, Greg's history in music, and then we're going to have a wonderful time with Greg and his all-star band playing some amazing tunes for us. So shall we kick it off? All right, here we go. So let's talk a little bit about the beginning, the start. What got you started?
I was born a poor white child in the ghettos of Detroit. I was surrounded by, all the wonderful elements of Motown and rock and roll and classical and jazz later on. And, right by the Canadian border, and the top pop station back then was called CKOW, and they were a big influence on, the kind of music I listened to, along with Motown and classical training that I started with around 6 years old. But I started playing by ear at 2.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. You're 2 years old. How do 2-year-olds find a piano? How do you get up on the piano?
With orthopedic shoes. What happened was I used to go to my next door neighbors, and they had a piano in their basement, and I was attracted to it, spent a lot of time down there. And after my mom figured out where I was spending all my time, she went downtown and graced me with a beautiful, ornate, upright piano. And it became my new best friend. And so I climbed on it, and started, playing songs that I heard, by ear from the radio. One thing I remember was a song called Sentimental Journey. And I also remember having the ability to, because, it was an upright piano, so it had a panel down underneath the keyboard, right? So I would play certain songs that had rhythm, and I'd kick to emulate drums. So I'd be playing and kicking at the same time.
Let's save you a little bit in the future as an MD without hiring a
drummer. I didn't need a drummer.
So you mentioned classical music. You started very young. So I heard you had a very intense classical instructor.
My last one, I went through 3 teachers because I kind of fluffed off the first 2. I mean, I started at 6, and I had, a basic general teaching then. And then in the early teens, I had another instructor, but she, her resources were limited, and I started taking advantage of her, And so my mom said, well, knowing that I needed something stronger, she connected me. I don't even know how it happened. It was a miracle. She connected me with the pianist for the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, and his name was Misha Kotler, and he was a badass, no nonsense, Hungarian, I think, or Russian, and he could, with this finger, he could break a pane of glass. Yeah, he was ridiculous, and he was very, very, he was demanding, and it gave me the discipline that I needed, to propel me to, what would be my future career.